Do you know the difference between setInterval and setTimeout methods in JavaScript? Both these methods are JavaScript timer methods, and both these methods have the same syntax. The setInterval method executes the function repeatedly at specified intervals. This is the syntax of the setInterval method. The setInterval method will have a function name which needs to be executed repeatedly, and we need to specify the frequency, that is at what interval this specific function needs to be executed. The frequency needs to be specified in milliseconds. That is, if you want to execute the function every 1 second, the frequency should be set as 1000 because 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. The setTimeout method executes a specified function only once after a specified delay. The syntax is setTimeout function name, delay. Here the delay also needs to be specified in milliseconds. For example, if you want to execute a function only after 5 milliseconds, you can specify 5, and if you want to execute the function only after 5 seconds, you need to specify the value as 5000. Finally, you should clear the timer if you do not need the timer because it will avoid unnecessary use of resources. Now let's create an HTML page which will clarify the difference between the setInterval and setTimeout methods. I have already created an HTML document with an input element range with minimum value 0 and maximum value 100, and I have set its current value as 0. I have also added a button start and another button stop. The start button has its ID btn start and the stop button has its ID btn stop. Let's see how it appears. See, this is the page. Now nothing will happen even if I click the start or stop button because I have not added the code. So let's add the code. Script type is equal to text or JavaScript. Next, I'm going to add the event listeners for the start and stop buttons. Document.getElementById btn start dot add event listener. What I'm going to do is I am going to update the slider. That is, I will move the slider every 1 second. So it will be on the click of the button. The name of the function is update slider, false. I have already mentioned we need to clear the timer when we do not need it. Otherwise, it will utilize the resources unnecessarily. So document.getElementById btn stop dot add event listener click, clear interval, false. Next, we need to write the update slider function. Function update slider. Let us use the setInterval method because we need to update the slider every second. That is, we need to execute a specific function repeatedly. For that, we should use the setInterval method. We need to pass the ID set by the setInterval method because we will require it when we clear it. So we will be using the same ID inside the update slider as well as the clear interval method. So it should have global scope where my timer. Okay. Now inside the update slider, my timer is equal to setInterval. Let me name the function as move interval or move slider comma, I need to execute this function every 1 second, so 1000 milliseconds. Okay, next I need to write the function move slider. Function move slider. How will we move it? We will increase this value by say 5 or 10. So if we get this value, it will be a string now. So first we will change it to a number. Otherwise, if we are adding the value 5, once it will become 0 plus 5, it might become 5. Then when we add 5, it will be 5, that is 55 instead of 10. So we are passing this value to a integer. So where position is equal to parseInt document dot get element by id slider dot value. Now we can update this one, that is document dot get element by id slider dot value is equal to position plus 5. Okay, now file, save. Let us see what is the output is. Refresh, start. See, the slider is moving every 1 second to plus 5 position. See, once it reaches this one, will it clear the timer automatically? No, now it has reached the 100th point, but it is still executing this function. We will see it how. Go to this one, set more tools, developer tools. Now click the timeline and click the record button. Now you could see that the events are getting collected. It is because that the timer is still running even if we do not need it. Now stop this and you could see that the timer is still running. Okay, so we should clear the timer as we do not need it further. So we will do it inside the stop clear interval method. Function clear interval. We need to clear the timer, that is clear interval my timer. This will clear the timer when the button is clicked. So let's again run this one. Refresh, start. It is getting updated. Once it reaches 100, we can click the stop button to clear the timer. Okay. Now we have used the set interval method and seen that it calls this move slider function every 1 second. Let's see what will happen if we use the set timeout method instead of set interval. Set timeout. Okay, I am not changing the function and all. It should update the slider. So file, save, refresh, click the start button. You could see that the slider moved only once. See, is it again and again moving until it reaches 100? No, because the set timeout method executes only once after the specific delay. So after 1 second, it updated the position of the slider just once and then it stopped. Still, it is not clearing the timer. It is still running. So we need to clear the timer in this case as well. So here, instead of clear interval, it should be clear timeout. Hope this example explains the difference between the set interval and set timeout methods in JavaScript. Thank you.